Hi, I'm Julia and you're watching Code Kitchen. Today we'll be going over XMLs and common layouts. As a beginner, you're going to want to focus on two layouts. They're called linear layout and relative layout. I prefer linear layout, but some people like to work with relative layouts. We'll go over both of them in this video. Linear layouts let you build the page vertically or horizontally in a straight line, so you can put in one button and then the next button under it and the next button under that. You get the idea. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding in another button so you can see that the button appears to the right of the text. This is because the linear layout defaults to horizontal. Now if we add in this line that tells the linear layout to be vertical instead, then the button appears vertically under the text. If you change it back to horizontal, it'll go back the other way again. Now let's switch it back to vertical and I'll show you what more buttons look like. Let's just copy and paste this a whole bunch of times and then hit design, and there we go, a bunch of vertical buttons. If I replace this linear layout by typing in relative layout instead, and I switch over to the design view, you can see it looks like there's only one. That's because the first one is covering up the other one so you can't see them, but they're all still there. I'm naming the buttons by using this ID line. I'm going to name this text view and then tell the button to go below it. Now you can see that this button is somewhat not covered anymore and it's below the text, even though there are still buttons on top of them. I'm going to name and assign positions to the rest of these buttons too, essentially making the same linear layout view as before. However, since this is a relative layout, I can move them around like this and then it just pops over to that side. I think this method is more confusing and harder to keep track of, but if it works for you, then go for it. Know anyone who would find this useful? Share this video with them so they can sharpen their skills and cook up some apps.